I mean, it's good. With the Wii U, we barely saw the consoles in the background. Here, we've seen the console thing. We've seen multiple controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So that part's good. I
Yes.
think the message is very clear in this commercial.
Yeah.
So they've given us what they feel like giving us right now. Next week, there's a investors meeting. Maybe there'll be some information on that. But
There's going to have to be. They can't... with this out now, they can't just be like, look, we're not talking about
Yeah.
our next console
I'm
now.
sure
You know
they'll
what I mean?
answer
Like,
questions.
because that's been their thing. Like, they knew if they didn't release any information, that when they had directs or investor calls, they can say, we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah.
Now you have no choice.
Right. And so they will. I don't know how much info they'll give. Maybe they'll give a date for when they're going to unravel more. But yeah, so...
You got 4
Nintendo
months. You only got
Switch.
4 months is what I'm like.
Well... Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. We're almost at the end of October here.
Yeah. So we'll see.
What do you? So I hate sizzle reels like this because there's nothing tangible, but there's what they want, what they want
Right.
to get the idea they want.
I think that's all they... I mean, and that's all they ever hyped it up to be.
Of
though,
course.
for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
They said it's going to be a preview trailer for your first look. This is what they're giving us.
Yeah.
And if you break down the trailer, like I said, they did give us a lot. I mean, we got a name. They gave us more than what they've given in the past. They gave us a name. Again, we saw the controller. We saw the console. We saw the proof of concept.
Yeah.
And that's all they're giving us right now. It'll be interesting to see what we get next week.
There's some cool stuff like the NBA 2K, like so. There's 2K stuff.
Yeah.
There's some Bethesda stuff in there. So
Mhm.
there's some third parties and some big third party stuff in there.
Yeah, they gave a third-party list.
Yeah, Ubisoft's on that list. Like so, yeah. There's like the people you expect to be on that list are on that list.
Yeah. From Software was on there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
So
we'll see.
this is what I'm. Okay, yeah, From Software's on there. I don't want like. Here's a port of Dark Souls 3.
That's what I don't want either.
Here's Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Here's Skyrim remastered that's been out for a while now.
Is that out? I thought that's not even out on
Oh no,
PlayStation
that's
until
not out
the
yet.
28th.
That's next week.
And that they can't really control because
Of
the system
course.
doesn't come out till March.
Right.
So
But like, so this was like the same issue with the Wii U. They're like, we're getting all these games that you already are playing, and I know that's not the crux of this. This is like, look at this hardware. This is what you can
that's
do
all
with
it was. All the footage isn't even. I've already.
None of it is.
None of it was running on
Yeah,
the system.
no,
it
of
was
course
all
not.
just
It's all
put in.
it's all
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
or post production, which is fine. But I'm not a fan of like sizzle reels like this that give you a lot without giving you anything.
Yeah.
The Mario Kart thing in there, like Alex Navarro and Giant Bomb was saying, like that's not just Mario Kart 8. I played a lot of Mario Kart 8. That's not just Mario Kart 8, and he specifically cites because there's a Boo driving a go-kart, and that's not it. Mario
King
Kart
Boo.
8. Yeah,
King Boo.
Yeah.
And there's also 2 items.
Yeah.
People are noticing that they're holding
Yep.
2 items. So yeah, like that's what they promised they were going to show us, and they did.
I texted you or voxed you to the day it came out. I was like, Nintendo Switch, eh? I see you, Nintendo. I see you.
What did you? I mean, I got it, but I mean, was there more to that?
No,
Or just
you're on my
right.
radar. I see
Okay,
you.
I got you. I'm so happy to be like things to take away from that. Like it's very interesting. Like there's
Yes.
in that commercial, like, and people have talked about this. They're not showing families playing together. They aimed at like young adults, and they completely got away from.
The
Wii.
Wii.
Thank God, where the Wii stuff is over.
Yeah, when you wrote, I'm glad it's not Switch.
Yeah,
and
the
I was
Switch.
Like, and I was like, because
Okay.
at first glance, I was like, it is called the Switch, and then I was like, oh, there's 2 eyes. I see what you did there.
Yeah. So I'm so glad they got away from that. But it's very interesting. Like I mean, they're marketing this towards gamers and like not kids. Their other stuff has been so much like, oh, your families can play this and look at us all together. And so I think that's very interesting. And then the thing's also very focused in the sense that like they're really just showing people playing with a controller. There's lots of rumors that screen's supposed to be multi-touch.
Or have a touch component. It might not be like I don't think it's going to be video game related. I think it'll be navigation related.
Maybe. I've heard the screen's multi-touch. Whether or not that's true, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't want to talk about rumors. A lot of people think there's still going to be motion involved. So people are saying if that stuff all is there, because this is not everything. They
No.
barely, they haven't showed, they showed us the system, they showed us their proof of concept. We don't know what it can do yet. You know? Like people are wondering, it's like, well,
I think it would
is it motion? Like,
no,
can you do that too?
I hate that that's a discussion. I would love for it to just be a video game console, man.
And right now, that's what they're promoting.
Yeah.
That's what they're showing. So we'll see.
Yes, this thing will have a web browser. I'm sure. Yes, you'll be able to do Netflix. I'm guaranteed.
I think it's gonna have all that.
It's gonna
stuff.
have all that
Yeah.
shit. But I don't. I want Nintendo to do what Nintendo does. Give me a console that plays video games for a good price, and the games look pretty,
Yeah.
and they're fun to play.
And I think that's what they're gonna do.
I
mean,
think they really need to lean into. I know they can't and won't because they don't want to really alienate third parties. But I think they really need to lean into that first party shit. Like, you cannot play this shit anywhere else.
Yeah.
In a world where every game is open world and every game has you climbing towers to unlock map stuff and there's a shooting element and an RPG element, guess what? Here's the RPG. Here's Zelda. Here's the platformer. Here's Mario. Here's the adventure-y game. Like, here's Metroid. You know what I mean? Like, give us what Nintendo does and really lean into that. Like, yeah, we've got this third-party shit. Like, because I think it's something we're afraid to do with the Wii and the Wii U. To say, we got some third parties, but yo,
Yeah.
you're not coming here for third parties, guys.
Right.
You're coming here for our shit, because our shit is the shit.
And I think that's something that's really interesting.
Their milkshake just brings all the boys to the yard, man.
It's something that's interesting about this too, because there's been a lot of changes within the company, and now that this is something. Granted, this still has Iwata's fingerprints on it because he was the one that fucking announced it. You know what I mean? They didn't they could have changed gears slightly, but they didn't totally. Otherwise, the system would have been delayed. But I mean, now it's like you're gonna get everything on this system.
I think the gear switching that they did. So, like, talk about PlayStation and Microsoft for a second. PlayStation is like, oh, PlayStation Pro. It's a little bit faster. It does 4K and HDR, right? And then Microsoft was like, here's Scorpio, and basically said, this is a new console.
Yeah.
And now Sony cannot redirect. There's no fucking way. They're just gonna have to wait and put out a new console in 2 or 3 years or whatever it is, whatever their life cycle was, and that'll be it. Nintendo, I think the Nvidia Shield is a decent gaming tablet at its best. Like, at its core, it's a decent gaming tablet. I know a lot of people use it for the streaming aspect of it, but it has the ability to play games because it's got a good chipset in it. I think that if they were going to redirect, like if they saw like, hey, we need to just do us because we can't come out and be like, whoa, we're going to push 10 teraflops of fucking data, woo!
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense for Nintendo to do. It never did. I don't need
It doesn't
Nintendo.
make sense for them to do right now. Especially.
I don't need them to be a fucking powerhouse. I need them to do what Nintendo does and get weird. And this is the right kind of fucking weird.
Yeah.
And if they're going to switch gears and make something come out at the time it was supposed to come out, this would be the easiest route to go. Here's a tablet that Nvidia already makes. Let's put our own stamp on it. Let's change some of the innards. Let's put new shit in it. This might be a complete switching of gears and helps them come out with a console sooner rather than waiting for PC parts to drop down in price to make a super powerful console and come out next fall.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, and there's so many questions we don't know, because I mean, you keep calling it a tablet, and that's fair, but I mean,
it is.
It's a home gaming system. That's what they're calling it. Like,
Yeah,
this is not like
Right.
like you could like they're pushing that.
And I'm willing to bet there's some processing inside that dock.
And that's what people don't know. And that's the thing that's interesting about it.
So
plus, that dock could have been a little flimsy thing.
Here's
That
the-
dock's kind of beefy.
Here's the thing I noticed about just this video. When you watch Breath of the Wild being played on the screen on the big TV, super smooth.
Yeah.
When he's playing it on the tablet portion of it, it's very choppy and framey.
Right.
So that's what leads me to believe that there's processing in that box.
So there's lots of questions.
And if that's the case, they need to be, and that is kind of being upfront about it. It's like, here's what it looks like on a TV. It's going to be a little less than on the tablet, but yo, it fucking works.
Yeah.
Like, if Nintendo comes out and goes, look, guys, here, HTD, man, HTD, here's the deal. It's going to look how you want it to look on your TV. If you want to take it with you on the road, you can, but you're going to take a hit.
Right.
Performance-wise.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild is an easy game to render, but because it's more of an art style rather than art technical.
Yeah.
Graphics art instead of graphics technical, whatever you want to say. But yeah, if it's basically just an Nvidia Shield with some newer parts in it, that's fine. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
I'm sure it's more. I mean, it's a custom chip. We don't know exactly. what it is.
I guarantee it'll be derivative of that processor though.
I'm sure,
For
but I mean, I'm sure it's going to be way more. I'm imagining beefier than that, but
It looks really thin and light. Like it looks like a Kindle Fire. Like it looks really thin and
Yeah.
light. And the only other reservation I have is the battery life on the screen.
right.
version.
And then there's some rumors about that too, where I've heard some people like that's just rumors. It's not. I'm not even going to talk about it. But I mean, that's the other thing though. Like
What
at
do
the
you
end of the day,
think
that
it's a 7-inch tablet, 16:9 7.
I've heard it's 6.2.
Okay.
I've heard it's 6.2 is the screen.
Is that judging by, like,
That's just
the-
what I've heard
Right.
insiders say. People that claim to know stuff.
because yours is.
Mine's
I
5.7.
I think it's a 7. I think it's a 7-inch.
Mine's
tablet.
5.7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that we just don't know.
Right.
We just don't know the answer to. You know, I mean, this is things that are interesting. I mean, okay, we're using cards again. You know, like because this isn't supposed to like this is their home system. They already answered like this isn't the answer to 3DS. This is their next home system, and it has a mobile component to it. You could treat it like a handheld if you want to. You could play it like that if you want to. So it's fascinating because, like you said, we don't know. To me, I'm with you. There's got to be some processing in that box because that thing could have just been if it was nothing but a thing that docks and shows your screen, it could have just been
If it
something.
was just an HDMI pass through,
it could have been something
Yes.
as simple as what holds the Wii U thing,
the dock, yeah,
or even
the
what
charger.
held your Wii. But it's kind of a thing, and it's kind of beefy, and it's got some stuff. You definitely see one side that has some ports in it too, but they didn't show us much. So it's interesting.
Here's the other thing I'll say that they got really right in this thing. The sound design for this thing, like the from the
Yeah,
logo,
the
and
switch.
even the Foley art of them putting the controllers on in the video, because that's
Right.
not what it actually sounds like.
Yeah.
You're
Funny
a
if it
fool. You're a fool if you think
It's so
that's
funny
actual
if it
audio.
did.
Well, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
they're going to turn it up, but like just the sounds that they put in this video, they feel good. Those
Right.
sounds feel good.
Well, that's the other thing that a lot of people have talked about is, to me, this looks like a piece of tech. It doesn't look like a toy.
Right.
It doesn't, and I think that's awesome. I like the way it looks. The design of it is very, to me, like, it's sleek. I mean, it's very different from what Nintendo's put out lately,
Yeah.
for sure. If it makes that sound, though, if it actually did make that sound to that extent, that loud, you have the whole premise for a Wizard 2 at that point. I can picture
Yeah.
it's like, this is the power, this is the switch. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it would just be
Um,
amazing.
See, the other thing that
That controller looks so dope.
kind of worried me about the stuff that they chose to show that wasn't first party. Again, it's games that are already out or games that are going to be out real soon. And one of the games is a remaster of a game that came out 6 years ago.
Right.
Which looks nicer, but it's not really like. So this is the thing I hope they don't get trapped in. Is the same thing they got trapped in with the Wii U and being quote underpowered. Because it's not. Again, if you take a Nintendo console for what it is good for, and that's playing Nintendo games, underpowered or not, you're going to have a great experience. But when you have your third parties and you have Skyrim shown, and you have NBA shown, which NBA is a fucking graphical showcase. I don't want them to get stuck in that hole from analysts or other gamers, mainstream gamers of it. Oh, that's Nintendo. That
Right.
one's underpowered. Like again, in a world where Microsoft's Xbox Scorpio is coming out next fall, and the way they've talked about those specs, it's basically
It's their new
if
system.
it comes out and it's not their new console, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
You can call it an Xbox One all you want. It's their new console. It's their new deal. It's the new iPad. It's the new iPhone. It's the new Xbox console.
The thing that's weird, I mean, it is the thing that's weird about it, and I like in some ways I feel like they had to do this. I don't know if it's true with Xbox. I do know it's true with the PS4 Pro. Is the CPUs aren't different. The GPUs are different.
Right.
I know that for a fact. I don't know if that's how it is with the Scorpio.
No, Scorpio, at E3 they're talking about like a complete overhaul of the innards of that thing.
And so what people have already said about this is that the CPU in this is going to be more modern than what's in the PS4 and Xbox One now. Which is the one thing that people seem to forget when you're talking about stuff is, again, it isn't always about brute force. Sometimes it's how all those components work together. You know what I mean? And that could put out something that gives you the illusion, at least, of it looking just as nice versus like, well, this pushes 10 teraflops.
Yeah.
This only pushes that. But there's so many things that are interesting. So like, yeah, carts. You know what I mean? Because like I said,
Flash memory is so fucking cheap.
so it's using that. So that means ideally, hopefully, no game installs. You know, like there'd be no reason for it to. I'm sure there'll still be like DLC. That's stuff we don't know.
Well,
Those are
there's
things
gotta
we
be.
don't know.
They're gonna have a digital.
There's gonna be
store.
digital stuff. Like I think it's gonna be just like they're gonna have a thing. People, that's just stuff we haven't seen yet. You know, we'll see it.
And if they're smart, they'll continue to let you plug in an external hard drive just like you can on the Wii U.
Yeah. So I think that's super interesting. So people have already done this stuff, and it's like, I don't know that I want this to happen, but the possibilities are kind of endless. I've seen people do pictures of the controllers on the screen on the side, and they've literally taken a GameCube controller and go click, click. And it's like, essentially, they really could. There's so many different things that they could do with that in theory, where they could sit here and, fuck, man, you've got detachable controllers. You could put something on there that's good for a shooter, or like something that works for stuff. Like, they could make money off that stuff. I'm not saying I want to do that, but that's kind of a lot of possibilities, the fact that you could slide stuff on there.
I agree.
Which is interesting.
I know you're in the same camp as me when I say this. Just make a good controller.
Right. No, I agree with that. And I really like the way, not that one. I mean, I think that's cool looking too, but the Pro controller thing, which I don't know if I have a picture of it. I like what he's holding. I like how that looks. I can't wait to see more of that. But there's just a lot of possibilities with that detachable stuff, which is fascinating. I think the whole thing is just really interesting. And like I said, I like the way it looks.
So
I can't wait to learn more.
I have a question for you. Do you think that the controllers, as they slide on, do you think they engage something, or do you think they're just Bluetooth controllers that are already...
Somewhat.
Well, no, they're because they show them playing separately, like in single hand.
So there's tech in those controllers too. Then there's something in them. Anyways,
I would almost much rather it be kind of a dummy thing that just hits some contacts when you slide it on. Less points of failure, the better.
But people, it's funny. People have fucked with this so much, like with the different color schemes and stuff. I've seen people make the side parts purple and the middle's black. I've seen people make it look like a retro thing. Like I don't know. It's cool. Anyways, Rick, you seemed excited about it when you first saw it, so you talk for a little bit about this and what you think about this.
I think I pretty much covered it. I still have the same kind of concerns and thoughts and praises as far as
Give
it
us
goes.
something though. Are you excited? Are you not excited?
I'm excited. The portability of it and the docking of it, that's pretty awesome. As far, I think Mike, you kind of brought it up. Are the graphics going to match from what we see on the screen to what we see on the portable screen?
Right, from the big screen to the
You know,
small
how much
screen.
are you going to drop?
How
in
much are you gonna
resolution?
lose?
Or
Yeah,
how much are you going to lose?
So what some people have said, again, it's rumors, that when you're handheld 720p TV 1080p,
Fine.
that's what I've heard.
Oh, that's
if
fine.
it runs 720p, so here's the
That's
thing.
what I've heard.
Here's what I'm gonna guess. Here's my bold prediction. On screen from that box, 1080p 60.
That's exactly what I've heard.
Yeah.
Handheld 720p 30.
Yeah. I think
That's
that's
my
what
prediction.
they're gunning for.
Any less than 30 and you've got issues.
Right.
But like you saw, like where Rick played through it again, like Breath of the Wild looked chunky AF on just the screen. And props to them for putting that in there.
Right.
They could have made this is all added in post, so they could have made it look buttery smooth on that thing too. But they're smart enough to know that we can't do that.
Yeah.
In fact, let's show it running like ass on the tablet. That way,
So
when it comes
the
out and it runs
expectations of
smooth,
it, yeah.
everyone will be like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
Plus, it's going to be super interesting to see shit actually running on
Yes.
it. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, oh, like that doesn't look different. You know, because I guess they've outright said it's like the NX version is going to look different than the Wii U version of Zelda. Like, that's been confirmed. They've said it. So people are like, it doesn't look different. It's like that.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be small.
That
Chip. It's
wasn't.
gonna be smoother. Like
Right.
there'll be probably more physics in the trees and the greenery and all that stuff. But I don't think it's gonna be like.
Because people have to remember it's essentially it is a port.
Yeah,
That's what it's going to
a
be.
fucking port.
So we'll see.
I like the Pro controller, like you mentioned. I think that's a pretty cool controller.
But yeah, I just know you seemed excited. You thought it looked awesome. So
Yeah,
are you excited about it?
Yeah, I am. I'm
Okay.
excited for it. I want to see more of this, of course. I mean, I don't
Right.
know when we're going to see more of this. But as far
We'll
as
hear more
like,
next
We're
week
gonna
when
hear
we do
more.
a
I think it's
conference
Tuesday, and I
oh,
think it's in
Tuesday. Oh, that
Japan.
really? Okay.
But again, it's just an investor call, so it's just gonna be hard. Hopefully, it's some hard.
They have a
facts.
great idea. They have a fantastic idea with this.
Yes.
And I hope they deliver.
I love when
And
Nintendo gets weird.
Yeah. Like I don't know if a hybrid, so to speak, is what I wanted, but seeing it in action, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty fucking cool, though. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of cool things. with it. I hope
a lot of possibility. Here.
I hope it doesn't have to sacrifice too much of power, because that's sort of the same thing that sort of happened with the Wii U, where it's like they have this tablet thing. I hope that's not the case, but seeing it in action and like just the idea of it, I don't know. I'm excited. Purple Fish 23. No word yet on if it can make your dick bigger, but I'm sure they'll.
I mean,
I'm sure that'll be in the announcement
that
next
trailer
week.
could have
Yeah.
if you were really into it.
Yeah. So there's a lot. Like I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see like how many people can play at once. I mean, that controller there's 8 lights, so I don't know if that means
Looks
that
like
you can
dog
play at
ears.
once.
That's what people are
People
saying.
have made that joke.
Ibo?
that's the handles.
Is that the dog Ibo? That little fucking speaker thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a little
I
Bluetooth
don't know.
thing. But yeah, people are. We already made that Star Wars reference.
I didn't know.
So yeah, so I'm just thrilled. I mean, done with the Wii U stuff. The name's actually growing on me the more I hear it.
I think the Switch is
Dude,
the perfect name.
I think they could have called this Nintendo Fuck Your Mother,
Yeah.
and it would have
It
been
would've been
way
better.
better than.
And then, you, like I told you over Voxer, it's like you could call the thing NS for short if you want to. It's like that's like I told Mike, it's like that's just one letter off of NES, so NS.
I
Like,
do see a problem with this.
With what?
A major problem with this.
this is going to be some sort of sarcastic joke.
They didn't play
No,
the
not
Will
at
Smith,
all.
They didn't play the Will Smith
What?
song in the background. That would have been way better.
No. And mostly for people like me. Big hands. Little controller.
Well,
That's one way to play it.
right.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, pull the portability of it
Well,
and going out with it. I mean, I
But
guess I
holding
can hold
it,
it.
that's
like
bigger
this.
than your 3DS. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? You could play with it. You
Yeah,
don't
the
have to remove
No,
controllers-
it.
no. Like, look how small that controller is.
You don't have to play that
Yeah,
way.
you don't have to. That's for.
That's for like playing with multiple people.
with one controller.
You might never play that way.
Yeah, because you know that
What if I want to play with you?
then
Then
can
you get
have
another
the pro
controller.
Like,
No
yeah.
one says you have to play it that way.
That's
Oh,
just
like
an
you
option.
can actually
You
use
can
this
see-
controller.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Problem
Yeah.
solved. Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah,
Or if we all have one of these, we could all play with it
On our own
on
screen.
our own screen.
Like an
Yeah.
old school fucking LAN party.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I think that's just.
That'd be pretty fun.
I think that's kind of like a quick or easy or cheap way. If it's like, oh, you don't have a controller here, take
Or
it.
like-
It's
or-
like a solution.
Yeah, because
Or-
I gotta see. Like,
Holy
this
shit!
image
Check
right
out.
here.
Look it. Play Smash with me. Real
Yeah.
quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, another thing that's kind of cool about it too, because this was also this is one thing that was cool about the DS is like the download play thing. Like if they have something similar to that on this, where it's like, oh, Mike has this game, I don't have it, but hey, we're all in the same room, we're in the same vicinity, we could all play this game together right now. We don't have to
Yeah.
all own it. I don't know if that'll happen, but yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in that I'm excited about. That game card looks interesting. It's like a little bit longer.
The
Yeah.
cartridge.
So that's a big thing you have to realize because again, this isn't a Game Boy. So like them going back to that, like this is their console, so there's no optical drive, so they're going back to carts. Which I think is interesting.
I mean, it's cheaper.
yeah,
You can get a
lot of
64
people are gonna
gig.
go that
You can
way.
get a 64 gig SD card for dirt fucking cheap right
Right.
now.
you shouldn't
Like
have
10 bucks.
and you shouldn't have load times.
Right.
And so the stuff that's going to be interesting to find out.
I think you'll have an initial load,
Right.
but it'll be kind of like the way It'll be like the way Grand Theft Auto treats games, or like the way Rockstar treats games.
Yeah.
You'll have an initial load
Yeah.
at the beginning when you turn it on, but after that, it's gonna be seamless.
So I can't
Hopefully.
I can't wait to find out more. I'm anxious to find out about their like it's all going to be there because they've made so many changes. Like there's accounts now with Nintendo, so I'm anxious to hear about their store. I'm anxious to hear about the internet stuff. I'm anxious to hear about voice chat, friends
Compatibility.
lists, all that stuff. I'm anxious to hear about storage. You know, like how they're handling that. Is it going to be cloud? Does that come with a lot of storage? Is there just a spot where you put in a memory card like old school style, like N64 days? Those are all things that hopefully we get some answers to some stuff next week at the investor meeting. I doubt we're going to hear much. It might just be like, here's when we'll talk about it again. Here's when we'll talk about it again.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's cool. I mean, even when I look at that thing, that other controller where it's like a square, like that kind of looks cool the more I look at it. But I really dig that Pro controller
Yeah,
a lot.
Do you think that's like a extended battery or something?
No, it's I think what I've heard is they're calling it the grip. So basically, I'm guessing there's probably going to be a model where it doesn't come with that Pro Controller, but obviously it comes with the. It comes with the screen, and then I think that is for if you want to. Yeah, I think it's going to come with that.
I don't think it comes with the Pro Controller.
I think there'll be a model that does.
There'll be a bundle.
I think there'll be a bundle that does.
Yeah.
That'll be $50 more.
To me, I don't think they would have shown that controller if it wasn't expected to be a prominent part of the system. So I think whether or not it comes with it or not,
Well,
I think they're going to push it hard.
I think it's just one of those things where I think they're doing what we always talk about and giving you options.
Right. But it feels something about this feels different to me. Whereas the Pro Controller for the Wii U felt like an afterthought. Like the first time they ever showed it was literally like 2 days before E3, and at that point the system had already been shown anyways. So, you know, there's a lot of promo with Wii U where they never even showed the Pro Controller because it was all about the tablet. Here they're showing it. So, yeah, like I said, the more I look at that, the more I even like the way that looks. I mean, as long as it's comfortable, it doesn't matter to me. I'm getting a Pro Controller no matter what because I dig the way that controller looks a lot.
Here's a dilemma. If they take out backwards compatibility for Wii and Wii U,
I don't think that's it.
Because of the motion, I think that's a sacrifice I'd be willing to make, because then it would force Nintendo alone plus the other third parties to not make those anymore. Because these were still being made.
Right.
Because it was an option.
Yeah.
And I think having a traditional style controller input, everybody's like, oh, well, Nintendo was doing something different. Yes, but there's nothing wrong with a traditional game input mechanism.
Right. And that's what they're pushing, even if it does have motion.
Right.
They didn't push motion.
I'm saying, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you want to try something new, go for it. But I think the main problem I had with the Wii was, like, a lot of it was throw the baby out with the bathwater. Here's our new shit. Fuck that other regular shit. You play games like this now. I'm like, no, I don't, bro. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And then later on, well, all right, you can also play games like this.
Right. Except now everyone's adopted motion to an extent. I think if it has motion, it's going to be treated in the same way that it's treated with Xbox and PlayStation. It's like it's an option and it's there. If you want to play that way, you can. I don't think obviously games aren't going to be based around that because I don't know how they would do it. Because I mean, they show all the ways, but they primarily show those detachable controllers attached to the screen
or attached to that.
They wouldn't have that grip thing if the whole point was separate and doing this junk. And then they wouldn't have that Pro Controller. And I like that Pro Controller a lot because I think it's nice. A lot of people actually really dig the Wii U Pro Controller.
It's really comfortable. It's really comfortable.
But a lot of people had complaints that the sticks were above the buttons. Rather than...
that doesn't bother.
But some people had those complaints. So a lot of people like this because this is kind of like the GameCube controller where instead of it being a C stick, it's a regular stick. And the buttons are above again.
Looks like an Xbox controller.
Yeah, it does.
Which is fine. But
layout-wise, yeah.
I like the idea. Like, again, to me, this moving down from the sticks was more comfortable than stretching up.
Yeah.
I played a shitload of Mario Kart using a Pro Controller, and I really
I didn't have an issue with it too. Other stuff, like the Switch Pro Controller's got the normal Nintendo D-pad. The other one has the more PlayStation-esque D-pad, and I think that's because it gives you the option to put that on its side, and it gives you more buttons.
Yes.
So, it's very interesting.
I love when Nintendo gets weird, even if it doesn't pan out. I just fucking love when they get weird, and this is definitely weird.
It's cool that you literally could play anywhere.
Yeah. Like
console games, and I'm just glad I love how it looks. I think it actually I like that it looks premium. I like that it's fucking matte. Thank you. I'm not going to be a fingerprint.
Seeing this makes me really bummed out that the Vita was treated like an afterthought with PS4.
Yeah.
Because when they were making the Vita, they knew about what they were doing with PS4 already. They knew. But they couldn't say, hey guys, this is going to be a great addition to our next console. Because they still wanted to sell PS3s. So the Vita just came out at an in-between time where old Sony was turning into the Sony they are now. And the Vita was one of the first things of the new Sony regime, you could call it, where they want to be more about games and more for gamers and less about hubris of, well, we're the top company.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that I almost would have been okay with them holding a Vita launch off until around the PS4, just so they could say, "Look at all this interactivity." Because, dude, like, the remote play alone on a Vita ran super smooth.
Yeah.
I had to play Grand Theft Auto with you guys, Grand Theft Auto 5 online, remote played through a Vita because the TV was being used, and it ran real smooth.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And I was just so bummed that it just didn't get adopted more. And like, this is what I wanted Vita to end up being.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's definitely like it's grown on me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I was disappointed when I first saw it, because I wasn't, but I had heard about this for so many months.
Yeah.
Why you guys?
No, because the thing I said that you're probably gonna say the same. You felt the same way when you first watched this as I did, which is gonna be hilarious. I was like, huh. All right, like that's how I felt. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't like I saw like people going nuts online or people shit talking online, and I was just like I told you, like, you still gotta woo me. You're not back in the house yet,
Right.
Nintendo. You beat me too many times.
Yeah.
You gotta prove you're a changed man.
There are a lot of people really excited
And
about
like
this, though.
when it was over, like that response I sent you I was like, Switch, eh?
Yeah.
All right, I see you, Nintendo.
Yeah. But
What
it's
else
just
are you doing?
it's just cool. Like, I mean, this is the first big change they've made since
Yeah.
the Wii.
Nintendo was upset that they got dumped, so they went to the gym and got that hot revenge body, and now they're like, now look at us.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I see you. What
Yeah.
else you got?
I like that red is prominent in the logo. So
Yes.
essentially, like, you know, Xbox is green, PlayStation's is blue. Now Nintendo's red. You know, like, I like that. That seems very kind of old school too. I think red was very prominent in like the NES days and like
Yeah.
Super Nintendo days, and just crazy. And then, like I said, a lot of the possibilities. I mean, a lot of it's all joking stuff, but you should see all these things that people make of all the things that you could attach to the damn thing, which, you know, whatever. But
Looks cool.
it's very interesting. Some people have even said, I didn't even talk about this, sorry not to interrupt, but if that dock, which again, like that dock could have been something so different than what that is. If it's got hardware in it, essentially, if this becomes their thing, they could do iterations of this system too and sell new docks. And maybe the new dock has new shit in it and it makes it run better. Like, I don't know.
Or a new tablet with better
Or that too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things, because everyone's talked about this one patent that Nintendo has taken out and that got approved. That's for a supplemental computing device,
Mm-hmm.
which some people have speculated could be their answer to, like, well,
I think that's the dock, though.
could be. I mean, yeah. But the idea with it, the way that they have it used, is that you could essentially buy it and it makes what
Yeah.
you're using stronger, essentially. So Rick's looking at this a lot. I think he likes it. I think he's excited.
It's definitely
Are you?
on my
Yeah.
radar.
Do you like how it looks?
I think it looks sexy.
The more I've looked at it, I think it looks sexy too.
These are all the partners.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda, Capcom, Activision, Konami, Sega, Warner Brothers, Ubisoft.
I mean, obviously it's going to be different once you hold it, but I feel like, you know, because I had heard these rumors, I feel like at least based off the video and the pictures, like, I feel like it feels sturdy. Like, the little, like, removable things felt like could have seemed really flimsy, and, like,
I think that goes along with the sound design.
It
that
could
they're
be the
taking on
sound-
and
it
off,
could be
but
the sound
I hear what
design.
you're saying. They
But
give
it
you an
looks-
idea of what they want it to feel like.
yeah. Like,
And I hope it feels the way
I hope so too.
they want it to.
I love people making fun of this commercial, though. It's like, you know, here we are with all of our sexy friends and we're going to a roof party, and, like, it was very hipster. Like, this commercial was super hipster.
Bro, let's play some basketball after playing basketball
on the court.
Yeah, no. People, again, it's let's be negative.
Yeah.
But again, like, this shit doesn't happen in real life. Go back and look at any sizzle reel for any console release. None of that shit happens in real life. They want to get across a feel and a vibe. And I think Nintendo...
I think they did it.
And it's kind of the word I've been using all day. Nintendo looks like they're making games fun again for them.
I think they... What were you going to say, Rick?
I think if, kind of going off what Mike said earlier, like if we all three got one, we could literally be all in the same place together playing like Mario Kart or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's basically a wireless LAN party.
No, I think that's the point. Or someone docks it into the dock and we all
I
have
like
controllers.
that. I like the idea of no more screen lookers, you fucking screen lookers. Like, if you're
Oh,
playing a
yeah,
competitive
yeah.
game or something,
Yeah.
like, nah. Nah, dude, I'll go play Splatoon over here in my corner. Don't be looking over here.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
that
great.
too. But like, even if we docked it
Yeah.
and put it up there, like
Yeah.
you could do that, or we can just all have our own
Yeah,
screen rather
either
than
way.
see the 4 grids.
Yeah,
on
we
the
can
top.
just disconnect even more.
Well,
Instead
even-
of a phone, it'd be a video game.
Even if you docked it, though, there might be a way to where. I don't know. I guess it still would be split screen.
Yeah.
Well, don't say no. There could still be a
Oh
way.
yeah, I see what
where
you're
you
saying.
dock
You dock
it.
one.
Yeah, you dock
And
one
the
and you
other
still have your
two-
thing. Like maybe
Well, I
there'd
mean,
be a
you
way
do
to
that. They do that basically with. I mean, everybody has to have a fucking copy of the game, but Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
you can play on your 3DS.
That's true.
You
That's
can play
right.
on a tablet.
Right.
You can play on the screen.
I do think like the more I've watched, I think they nailed that video. I almost feel like they could use that video as the commercial. Like they could take parts of it like that because
Yeah.
the system. It's simple. It says what it does.
I'm excited. Bottom line is, I'm excited, but again, it's cautiously optimistic.
I'm excited too. So, all right, Nintendo Switch, not the Nintendo Switch.
Sweet. I'm
Although-
gonna start calling it that.
I actually, if it was called
Switch.
that, I would be fun as fuck to say this. The Switch. I mean, like,
Turn on
you mean
the
the Switch? No,
Switch.
it's the Switch.
Sweet.
The thing that would bug me about that most would be the WII, but
Yeah.
verbally saying it, I'd be
Yeah.
totally fine with saying Switch. So.
He shall be not be named.
yeah.
The name we shall never speak again.
It's cool. I mean, totally, like, it's got Nintendo right on the thing. I like that. They got a logo for it. Like, I like that Nintendo is fucking in the name. Colin was taking issue with the name, saying that the name was terrible and saying he wished that they just called it Nintendo. And I remember when he said that, I'm like, dude, but Nintendo, like, it's on the fucking system. Like, Nintendo, I still think is prominent in the.
I see. I think that's the problem. I'm not with him, but I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Like, it was just called the Nintendo. Just call it the Nintendo.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Because for the longest time, whether you were playing whatever kind of video game you were playing, people always refer, like a Nintendo game? Like,
Yeah.
No, it's on a PC, but okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing a PlayStation, but okay. Like, Nintendo was ubiquitous for video game. It was
Right.
like Q-Tip or Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Like, that was video game.
Kleenex.
Yeah.
Correct term is adhesive strip.
Yeah. Cotton swab.
Yeah. But regardless, I like that Nintendo's prominently on there.
Yeah, me too. I'm with this, man. Like I said, this gets my vote in 2016. This is what I'm voting. I'm voting for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Making that switch,
Yeah.
huh? It's cool. Like, I mean, I'm sure people will start saying like the Switch. Maybe might not say Nintendo Switch, but I could already see like this game. Like, I could see people saying NS and all that stuff. Like, I like it. I like the name the more I look at it.